supernatural world is a realm of darkness and danger, a place where nightmares lurk in the shadows, waiting to strike at the unsuspecting. I have spent my life hunting the creatures of the night, the beasts and monsters that threaten the very fabric of humanity. Time and time again, I have seen the blackest abysses and faced the most terrifying adversaries, always with one conviction, that these beings are the enemy, the scourge that must be eradicated. But recently, my beliefs have been shaken to the core. In my pursuit of these dark creatures, I have stumbled upon a revelation that has left me both perplexed and captivated. Among the legions of bloodthirsty vampires that stalk the night, there exists a clan with a noble and just cause, a group that defies everything I thought I knew about the undead, the Salubri. Once powerful members of the 13 vampire clans, the Salubri were renowned for their healing abilities and wisdom. Betrayed by their own kind, they now stand on the brink of extinction, misunderstood and hunted by the very creatures they once called kin. Yet, even in the face of such adversity, these enigmatic beings hold steadfast to their values, dedicating themselves to acts of kindness and mercy that defy the monstrous nature of their brethren. I have trained myself to see the world in black and white, good and evil. But the existence of the Salubri challenges these notions, revealing shades of gray that I could never have imagined. Can a vampire truly be noble, compassionate, and just? My encounters with the Salubri have left me questioning the very foundation of my beliefs, forcing me to confront the complexities of the supernatural world and the possibility that there may be more to these creatures of the night than meets the eye. The Salubri are the progeny of Solo, an antediluvian and one of the third generation of vampires. His clan would be known at the time for their unrivaled healing ability, which they used on both kindred and kine alike. Unlike his brethren, Solo was notably troubled by the vampiric condition and sought ways to alleviate the inner struggle with the beast. He dedicated himself to meditation, prayer, and acts of self-abnegation, often collaborating with his siblings Malkav and Set in his quest for answers. However, these efforts alone could not suppress the beast within. Driven by his pursuit of enlightenment, Solo traveled east and studied under various Indian gurus and spiritual mentors. After centuries of absence, he re-emerged with a third eye upon his forehead, claiming to have discovered a new path to enlightenment known as Golconda. Solo transformed his clan into more than just vampires. He made them teachers of enlightenment and guides to mastering the beasts that plagued their existence. Under his guidance, the Salubri devoted themselves to helping other kindred reach a state of inner peace and harmony with their vampiric nature. Upon Solo's return from his eastern journey, the vampire world faced a new and sinister threat. Demonic vampires, sired by a mysterious elder and devoted to their dark masters, began to emerge from the east. These vampires were the Bali, a bloodline that would become one of the Salubri's greatest adversaries. Faced with this dire situation, a group of Salubri chose to forsake their healing nature and adopt a more martial path. They formed the Warrior Caste, dedicated to protecting their clan and combating the growing threat of the Bali. This marked the beginning of the Bali Wars, a series of conflicts between the Salubri and the Bali that would have a lasting impact on both bloodlines. The Warrior Caste proved to be formidable opponents for the Bali, as they were driven by a fierce determination to defend their clan and eradicate the demonic threat. Despite their departure from the healing path, the Warrior Caste retained the core values of the Salubri, channeling their passion and conviction into a righteous struggle against the forces of darkness. The Bali Wars were a significant chapter in the history of the Salubri and played a crucial role in shaping the clan's identity and legacy. The emergence of the Warrior Caste demonstrated the Salubri's ability to adapt and evolve in the face of adversity, while their unyielding commitment to their cause served as a testament to the strength and resilience of their bloodline. The true progenitor of the Bali remains shrouded in secrecy, with some speculating that Solo himself may be their sire. Hakim, the antediluvian of the Banu Hakim, who fought alongside the Salubri in the Bali Wars, has expressed distrust towards Solo. Over the years, I've uncovered documents suggesting that Solo proclaimed his intent to outlast the Wheel of Ages and rule the world. Can these claims be trusted? Is Solo's benevolence a facade? Or are these allegations merely the machinations of the Tremere, aiming to further tarnish the Salubri's reputation? The truth remains elusive. Saulo continued to impart the teachings of Golconda until eventually succumbing to a profound torpor. After some time, he vanished, only to be discovered in 1133 by Tremere mages seeking antediluvian blood to legitimize their lineage. Saulo became the ideal target for the ambitious Tremere. A group of Tremere infiltrated Saulo's tomb, and their founder consumed the antediluvian's essence. Empowered by the might of an antediluvian, the Tremere were now branded as diablerists, usurpers, and threats. In response, they initiated a defamation campaign against the Salubri, long feared for their enigmatic spiritual abilities. Eventually, they gained the support of the other clans, who were often willing to forsake principles for immediate gain. This collaboration led to the Salubri's use of the term usurpers to describe the Tremere and those who joined them in their persecution. The clan faced near total annihilation, with their numbers dwindling to the brink of extinction. In the present nights, it is rumored that fewer than 7 Salubri remain, though some speculate that this claim is perpetuated by the Salubri themselves to conceal their actual strength. Regardless, they have faded into obscurity, and those who are still aware of their existence often harbor animosity towards them due to their unsettling and fearsome abilities. I was saved by a Salubri once, and thus became aware of their existence. She shared with me her clan's past and their present struggles. Amidst the chaos and darkness that pervades their society, this selfless act of compassion stands out as a testament to the power of redemption and hope. To see the Salubri, a clan who dedicated their unlife to healing and guiding others, on the brink of extinction is a tragedy beyond measure. As their numbers have dwindled, gaining insight into the current state of the Salubri, their culture and their way of life has become increasingly challenging. Their knowledge of Golconda, the state of enlightenment for vampires, has been all but lost, reduced to little more than a distant goal for them and a myth to the rest of vampire kind. However, by delving into their history, we might be able to glean some clues as to how their past experiences have shaped their present-day identity and actions. The Salubri clan values solitude and independence, and have preferred it since the days of Enoch. The only times they gathered together in significant numbers were for bloody constraint, or when sires were teaching their progeny. However, they have not gathered in large numbers since the beginning of the Tremere persecution, as they fear being captured by the usurpers. They scatter themselves to avoid being caught, and even if one is captured, they cannot unintentionally betray their clanmates, if they do not know where they are. Historically, the Salubri clan was organized into distinct castes, with 2 or possibly 3 subdivisions. The 2 most prominent castes were the Healers and the Warriors. The Healers, often vilified by the Tremere, focused on mending and restoration, while the Warriors dedicated themselves to battling the usurpers and hunting down the Bali. The existence of a third caste, referred to as the Watchers, is not widely acknowledged among the Salubri. Information on the Watchers remains scant. However, during my journeys to the east, I have managed to uncover some insights that shed a glimmer of light on this enigmatic third caste. The Healer Caste is the original part of the clan of the Salubri before Saulo traveled east. In modern nights, the Healer Caste of the Salubri is indeed believed to make up the majority of the remaining members of the clan. They often form alliances with other outcasts among the kindred, such as the Malkavians and Nosferatu, finding common ground in their shared status as outsiders. Additionally, they are known for their compassion toward mortals, particularly those who are marginalized or persecuted by society. The Healer Caste is renowned for their exceptional command over the distinctive discipline, Obeya. Interestingly, their abilities are seemingly rooted in the divine, though whether this is mere conjecture or truth remains shrouded in mystery. One cannot help but feel a sense of benediction when in the presence of such power. This discipline emphasizes defense and support, enabling healers to cure physical and emotional injuries, eliminate supernatural maladies, and even reverse the aging process. Its scope is vast and diverse, including healing through music, transforming agony into delight, resurrecting the dead, painlessly euthanizing consenting mortals, and many other abilities. Their remarkable healing abilities extend to other vampires, making their services immensely valuable and sought after among the kindred. The embrace in childhood are taken very seriously by healers, who view the process as a significant responsibility. Unlike warriors, who believe that a child can be molded after the embrace if necessary, healers recognize that their progeny must be carefully chosen from the beginning. Ideally, healers take the time to approach prospective progeny and get to know them before offering the embrace. This allows them to assess the depth of the mortal's character and compassion, and to determine whether they possess the qualities necessary to become a healer. If the mortal shows the desired qualities, the healer will approach them to offer the embrace, often using ecclesiastical language to encourage the mortal to consider the decision carefully. If the mortal refuses, the healer does not press the matter further. If they accept, the healer explains the benefits and costs of this new life before proceeding with the embrace. The embrace itself is typically carried out in quiet surroundings with stores of blood available to help ease the child's hunger. In the past, childhoods were long and involved, with progeny spending several years under their sire's tutelage to learn the knowledge and skills necessary to survive as a K-Knight. However, in modern knights, many progeny are denied this slow and careful tutoring, and their embraces are often hasty. As a result, they are thrust into the world with only rudimentary knowledge and skills. This has led to an increase in stories of progeny awakening alone or in the hands of usurpers. Unlike the warriors, the healers do not spend a great deal of time testing their charges. One learns by doing among the healers, and some may spend their first nights in the embrace practicing their new gifts beside their sires. However, when it comes to teaching the path to Golconda, caution is exercised. Most believe that one should be advanced at least 2 steps along the path before giving one's pupil any instruction, while others insist that one should not begin instruction of others until reaching the verge of Golconda oneself. The healers are hunted for their gifts, which are now considered the gifts of hell. Their third eyes are called devil's marks, and they cannot conceive of banding together, lest they be destroyed en masse. Their future is uncertain, and they face persecution and danger in their quest to fulfill their mandate. Despite their dwindling numbers, the Healer Caste of the Salubri remains dedicated to their cause, striving to alleviate the suffering of both mortals and vampires alike. Their selfless acts of healing and support for the downtrodden demonstrate the enduring legacy of their clan, even in the face of adversity and near extinction. It is important to remember that no group, no matter how noble or virtuous, is exempt from the temptations of power and pride. While the Salubri have a reputation for being healers and teachers, it is not inconceivable that some among them may have strayed from the path of righteousness. It is also worth noting that history is often written by the victors, and it is possible that some of the stories of heretics may have been exaggerated or distorted over time. Nevertheless, it is always wise to be cautious and to examine any claims or teachings with a critical eye, no matter who is making them. My pursuit of knowledge about these enigmatic kindred has proven to be quite rewarding. Although I have yet to encounter a member of the Warrior or Watcher castes, I consider myself fortunate to have discovered several first-hand diaries and accounts that detail their lives and training. I'm delighted to share these invaluable insights with you. The tale of the Warrior Caste of the Salubri is a rich and storied one, rooted in the rebellion of Samiel, child of Solo, against his lot as a placid healer. Samiel trained with the likes of Bruja and Gangrel, leaving his sire's side as a discontented, undisciplined child, and returning a blooded, wise young warrior. He gathered his band to him and trained them, and it was said that Samiel had 15 warriors at his side when the fatal events of the Vale of Gehenna came to pass, beginning the Bali Wars. The Bali Wars ensued, and the Salubri suffered the loss of Samiel himself and of over half his followers. Those left behind at first wished nothing from unlife, and the grief of their grandsire gave them no comfort or courage. It is said that one who had been named Uriel by Samiel found the writings of Samiel, which then became the warrior's code. Thus, Uriel took up the mantle laid down to lead the warriors who would follow, and all who now follow the warrior path of the Salubri can trace their lineage back to one of these 5 grandsires: Uriel, Zaaphiel, Ezrael, Ariel, and Gabriel. Following the code of Samuel, the warriors grew numerous and betook themselves to travel across the land, seeking teachers of the arts of war that they might strive to learn. This text is believed to detail the conduct of Salubri warriors during both war and peace. While the exact date of the text's creation is uncertain, it is thought to have been completed before the Bali Wars. The most crucial part of the code is believed to be necessary for the proper initiation of any Salubri warrior, although the exact contents of this section have been mostly lost to time. According to legend, Samuel received direct guidance from Michael, the commander of the heavenly host, who also instructed him in the proper methods of purifying his warriors. Those who underwent this blooding ritual by Michael's word report that it was not merely about the shedding of the first physical blood, but more about the acceptance of a spiritual sacrifice. Over the years, the code was copied and shared among Salubri warriors when they sired new progeny, but many copies have been lost or destroyed. Those who were initiated by the code and knowledgeable in its teachings have also been eliminated, leading to the development of alternative blooding rituals. Most Salubri warriors now believe that the true code is largely lost to them, and they search for it with the same fervor that scholars seek out important historical texts. One of the most intriguing mysteries within the Warrior Caste is the blooding ritual. This rite appears to be an intensely personal and private experience for Salubri warriors. I've come across a single document detailing an account of this ritual, involving Sulian de Lesson, later known as Nathaniel, and Childe of Israel. According to the aged squire's account, Sulian was led to a secluded clearing in the woods by his sire. He was instructed to remove his clothing and lay out his belongings on the ground before his sire. They prayed together for several hours before Sulian's sire directed him to stand within a prepared circle. As the sire circled him, he questioned Sulian about his training and knowledge, administering a single lash for any hesitation or error. By the end, Sulian bore the marks of 10 lashes, and the scent of his blood filled the air like incense. His sire then asked Sulian to recite the codex he'd been taught, which he did flawlessly. Afterward, his sire inquired about the name he would be known by until the end of the world, the name by which Samuel would summon him from his grave. Unable to remember the name he had chosen, Sulian heard his father's voice whisper in his ear, "Let him be called Nathaniel." His sire accepted the name and commanded, "Be thou Nathaniel, and speak to me thy code as a warrior should." Sulian recited the oath to his sire, but his wounds began to overpower him. His sire offered a wineskin filled with vitae, which Sulian drank, and he closed his own wounds through sheer will. After dressing and rearming, they returned to their haven as the first light of dawn crept into the sky. The blooding ritual seems to represent a rite of passage and initiation. It symbolizes the transformation of a fledgling into a fully fledged warrior, accepting the responsibilities, duties, and spiritual sacrifices that come with this role. The ritual serves as a test of the individual's commitment, knowledge, and resilience, as well as a demonstration of their dedication to the principles and code of the Salubri warriors. The blooding also signifies a deepening bond between the sire and child, as the sire guides their child through this intense and personal experience. The process of shedding blood and undergoing physical and emotional trials further emphasizes the gravity of the warrior's path and their willingness to endure pain and hardship in the service of their cause. The ritual ultimately marks the beginning of the child's new life as a Salubri warrior, bound by the sacred code and their loyalty to their clan and brethren. The tales I've uncovered about the training of the Warrior Caste are both intricate and demanding, requiring a total of 7 years to master. The process commences with an understanding of the history of the Cainites and the genealogy of the clan, followed by the development of sword-fighting skills and the foundations of Valoran and other disciplines, neophytes are then exposed to the philosophies and the Code of Samiel. After 3 years under the guidance of his sire, a fledgling was dispatched to study with a Bruja elder. This mentor imparted not only knowledge about warfare and martial prowess, but also philosophy, scholarship, and engaged the fledgling in games of chess and lengthy hunts through the woodlands. After a year of this training, the fledgling sire returned to assess his progress and deemed him prepared for the subsequent phase, the trials. These trials presented both physical and mental obstacles designed to eliminate the unworthy, with failure often culminating in death. In one account, a crucial moment arose when the fledgling spent a night in the desolate wilderness, devoid of weapons and garments, meditating upon Samiel, Saulo, and his purpose. It was during this period of solitude that he gained clarity regarding the warriors and his role amongst them. Over the next 2 years, fledglings continue to build upon the lessons from the initial stages, covering subjects such as religion, tactics, and history. They are schooled in writing and multiple languages, including Latin, French, Hebrew, and the ancient tongue of Enoch. Freshly trained warriors are urged to pass down their knowledge to their own offspring through the same rigorous methods, as the Warrior Caste believes that a weak or indulgent warrior is detrimental to the lineage. The warriors of the Salubri are different from those of other clans, for they require not that one's cunning or strength be foremost, nor that one carry some tattered banner of an ideal or honor. It demands a mix of all that makes a warrior, a priest, and a man, brought together, wrought and quenched in the blood of their sires. They strive each night for this, and demand no less from their progeny. It seems that there is no one set or reason in choosing whom the warrior caste embraces. Some are chosen from their mortal nightly training, while others are plucked from the dying of the battlefield. Some have little skill in arms, while others were accomplished mortal warriors before taking up the path of Samiel. Women are not forbidden from becoming warriors, but it is not common for them to be blooded as such. Those who are blooded are often of considerable skill or age, and some Canaanites of other clans may refuse to receive or train a woman. The Salubri warriors possess a unique discipline called Valorin. Opposite to Obeah, it provides offensive capabilities as well as some support. Valorin allows them to manipulate both blood and spirit, providing them with a versatile set of abilities to effectively engage in combat and protect those they care for. Valorin grants Salubri warriors mastery over pain, enabling them to endure physical torment and push through injuries that might cripple other vampires. They can also use Valorin to enhance their physical capabilities, making them formidable opponents on the battlefield. In addition, Valorin allows them to manifest weapons and armor made of pure energy, giving them the power to strike down their adversaries with unmatched force. While the primary focus of Valorin is on combat, it also showcases the Salubri warriors' commitment to safeguarding the innocent and supporting their allies. They can utilize Valorin to heal and protect those they fight alongside, demonstrating that their warrior nature is tempered by a sense of duty and compassion. It is worth mentioning that both the healers and warriors of the Salubri possess the disciplines of fortitude and auspex. Fortitude enhances their resilience, enabling them to withstand physical damage that would incapacitate weaker creatures. Meanwhile, auspex bestows upon them heightened senses and psychic capabilities, allowing them to perceive their surroundings in ways beyond the reach of others. Since the Watchers hail mostly from the east, information on them is scarce. These mysterious beings, also referred to as the Wu Zhao, have their origins in the 2 descendants of Salu, who, during his travels to the east, was known as Zhao Lat. It is said that he handpicked 2 individuals to be embraced: Zhao Zai, a skilled thief with the ability to extract the secrets of the spirit worlds, and Zhao Shui, a learned scholar who could decipher these secrets. Together, the trio embarked on exciting adventures throughout the Middle Kingdom, where they raided the hideouts of the Akuma, the demons of the East, and stole their intricate plans. As I delved deeper into the unique abilities of the Wu Zhao, I discovered that they have the rare capacity to shift effortlessly between the roles of thieves and scholars, or warriors and healers, as they are called in the West. On top of this, the Wu Zhao suffer from no weakness like their Western brethren. However, I was unable to find any concrete information as to why they possess this unique ability. I have formulated a few theories, though. The Wu Zhao's diverse cultural background, influenced by a blend of Eastern and Western philosophies, may have enabled them to adopt a more holistic approach to their disciplines. Their exposure to a wide range of beliefs and practices from various cultures may have also contributed to their ability to shift between roles with ease. Additionally, I believe that their ability to embody the principles of balance and harmony, a central concept in many Eastern philosophies, may also play a role in their versatility. By maintaining a delicate equilibrium between opposing yet complementary forces, the Wu Zhao embody the principles of yin and yang. This duality allows them to be more adaptable and versatile in their service to their clan and the broader Cainite society. However, it's crucial to note that my theories are purely speculative and maybe baseless. Nonetheless, the Wu Zhao's unique ability to shift between warrior and healer disciplines remains a fascinating subject of study and continues to intrigue me. In addition to the three primary castes of the Salubri, two notable variants have emerged as a result of their progenitors' diablerie and the subsequent decimation of their clan. The first of these are the Salubri anti-tribu of the Sabbat. The Sabbat's Salubri anti-tribu, known as the Furies, diverge from the introspective kindred seeking Golconda in their persecuted exile. These kindred harbor a deep-seated animosity towards Camarilla vampires, particularly the Tremere. The Furies represent a modern manifestation of the ancient Warrior Caste. In the 1990s, a Sabbat pack reportedly discovered a torpid Salubri named Adonai, one of the last remaining Salubri warriors, in a mine near Prague, and their awakening gave rise to the anti-tribu. While the Salubri anti-tribu are devoted to exterminating Camarilla vampires, they do not necessarily subscribe to other Sabbat agendas. They participate in the sect's Ritai and share their blood, but their true motivation lies in invading Camarilla territories and targeting Tremere vampires. If the ancient tales of honorable Salubri warriors as chivalrous knights hold any truth, times have indeed changed. These kindred show no distinction between honorable combat and improvised explosive device. Their primary objective is to witness their enemies reduced to ashes. It is plausible that these kindred are remnants of two of Ariel's line, and their followers who renounced their names and adopted infernal ones in the wake of Solo's diablerie, as the name Adonai might suggest. The Furies' clan weakness differs slightly from that of the primary Salubri. They can only derive nourishment from blood obtained through force or during a frenzy. The other significant variant is the Alamin. The Islamic Salubri, known as Alamin, were no more fortunate than their European brethren. For centuries, they kept a vigilant eye on the Bali from North Africa to Asia, often masquerading as members of other clans. Following Solo's diablerie, the Assamites, known now as the Banu Hakim, were allies of the Alamin from the Bali War and endeavored to smuggle as many Salubri as possible out of the Tremere's reach. The success of this effort remains debatable, as many Salubri were killed while aiding others or in confrontations with the Bali. From what little I could find on the Alamin, they are being safeguarded by the Ashira, Islamic vampires that rule over Arabia and North Africa. Despite having conquered their inner beasts, the Salubri are still susceptible to the curse that plagues all vampires. Their bane comes in the form of their inner struggle with their own nature, drawing them to the life essence of those with pure hearts and noble intentions. This bane serves as a double-edged sword, ensuring their connection to humanity, while simultaneously narrowing their feeding options and exposing them to greater risk. The peculiar third eye, which Solo acquired during one of his numerous expeditions, is inherited through the bloodline with every Salubri embrace. This third eye can manifest in various forms, not always resembling a human origin. It may display vertical, snake-like pupils, or even worm-like eye spots. Although the third eye can be concealed physically, such as with a headscarf or hood, it remains ever present and impervious to any supernatural attempt at obfuscation. In addition to their bane, the Salubri Vitae is particularly potent for other vampires. The kindred who partake in Salubri blood find it impossible to pull away and often require forceful removal to prevent them from draining the Salubri completely. Furthermore, when a Salubri uses their discipline of the third eye, their vitae weeps, and the more attuned they are with their powers, the stronger the flow. Their compulsion, however, is one of compassion. The Salubri are compelled to provide aid to those in need, be it mortal or canite. This empathy is both their strength and vulnerability. As a hunter, I have dedicated my life to safeguarding humanity from the darkness, and I cannot help but respect the Salubri's commitment to healing and caring for others, even at great personal cost. It's a cruel irony that these vampires, who have devoted themselves to redemption and the betterment of their kind, are hunted and persecuted by their own brethren. The dwindling numbers of the Salubri serve as a somber reminder that even the brightest lights can be extinguished by the shadows that surround them. Yet, I hope that the remaining Salubri find a way to endure and continue their fight against the darkness that threatens to consume us all. As hunters, it's crucial to recognize that not all kindred are inherently evil. The Salubri represent a unique example of a clan that has chosen to use their supernatural powers to protect and heal instead of preying upon the innocent. Understanding their history, culture, and motivations can better equip us to appreciate their struggle and even find common ground in our shared fight against the darkness that threatens our world. Knowledge is our most valuable weapon, and the more we understand about our enemies and potential allies, the better prepared we will be to face the challenges that lie ahead. Let us remain vigilant, and may our shared mission guide us in the fight against the darkness. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Matthew 5:9.